Good day everybody, and welcome to another episode in the Boerboel Academy YouTube channel videos. This is again another video on how to pick a puppy, and this time we're going to address the temperament of the puppies. It's critical. You know, you can try and pick a puppy with a big head and a nice top line and this and that, but the temperament of a puppy is thing that you've got to live with for the rest of your life, and it's important and critical to check that, and it's possible to check that. Sadly, in our Boerboel community, temperament is testing is sort of frowned upon because people just don't understand it. They think these dogs are supposed to be a president of one of the associations told me these dogs are supposed to be aggressive. Why do you want to test their temperament? Please, these dogs were not aggressive. Boerboels are not aggressive, murderous dogs. Boerboels are protective dogs, and we've got to check that from when they are puppies. What do people use Boerboels mostly for in South Africa? Not to keep the elephants out of our yards and the lions away from the gate. We don't have that anymore. I still have it. I live here in Mozambique. But 99.9998% of all Boerboel owners never even see an elephant with their dogs, right? So what do they use them for? To keep intruders out of the yard, to bark at them, to scare them, and if they do jump, to bite, right? And if a person comes in and wants to harm your family, the dog will protect your family. Now let's get back to the Vollard Puppy Aptitude Test. The Vollard Puppy Aptitude Test has been around for many years. It was initially, the first parts of it was developed in the 1930s, when there were psychologists that were testing dogs to see if they would fit in with blind people to become guide dogs, and they wanted to match the dogs to the personality challenges that they know the personal challenges that they know that blind people face. Then in the 1950s, the psychologists were again busy trying to determine how quickly children can learn, and one of the test subjects they used as a control group was dogs. And then they found that they can also predict how quickly and how well dogs learn. So that was also taken, those studies were taken and all incorporated into the Vollard test. In the 1960s, more tests were developed to determine if puppies could be tested for dominance or submission. And all of this built up over many, many years to become a very complete, very reliable, very easy to perform test that any new Boerboel owner can actually do on the puppy before they go and get it. Of critical importance is that this test must be done on day 49, not earlier, because then the puppy's brain is not fully developed, not later, because then prior learning becomes a problem. Day 49 is the optimum time. It's when the puppies are 7 weeks old, and that is the correct, accurate age to do the Vollard puppy test at. Right, now, the tests all work on scores. The scorer will be one person and the tester will be another person. And normally it's not the breeder, it's not the person who owns the puppy. It's people that are unknown to the puppy and that are not involved with this puppy at all. They don't want to sell it to you or nothing. So it's an ideal situation where somebody can basically offer this service even and go around to breeders and say, listen, I will perform the Vollard Puppy Aptitude Test for you on this full litter of puppies, and I will give you a report at the end of the day comparing blue puppy to yellow puppy to green puppy, and everybody will know what they can get. Right, now there are 10 tests and a couple of sub things underneath it. The tests are as follows. Social attraction, that's the first test. That's where you test the degree of the puppy of social acceptance of people. In other words, is it going to go into a family and live well into a family? It's going to test its confidence and its dependence upon the family and the family structure. The second field that gets tested is following. Now, following is very important because it's the willingness of the dog to actually follow you and to listen to what you're saying. It becomes very important when you want to start to do training of the dog. And if you have a big, strong dog that you need to listen, that doesn't just have its own mind and never follows anything that you say, restraint is the third aspect that we're going to look at, and that's the degree of dominant or submissive tendency of this puppy and the ease of handling this dog in difficult situations. Now, people nowadays brag how big their Boerboels are. Just imagine trying to handle an adult Boerboel in a difficult situation if it has got no sense of submission, if it is totally dominant. You won't be able to control that dog. So please, it is critically important that we test this when there are puppies already. Social dominance is the fourth thing. The degree of acceptance of social dominance by a person, the boss. If the boss tells you no, or if a child in the household tells the dog no, does the dog growl at it or does it listen? Those are the things that are important to measure and to look at that. Elevation is something where we take the puppy and we pick it up. So we remove all control from this puppy. We put the puppy in a situation where it has no control over what's happening to it, right? And then we see what will happen if this puppy one day is go to a grooming parlor. Not that Boerboels go to grooming parlors often, or to the vet, and the vet wants to examine this dog and puts it on a table. What is the dog going to do if it's not in a position that's used to and it's not in control anymore? Right? Retrieving. Now we think, we know Boerboels are useless at fetching balls. They will go and fetch it twice, and the third time they'll look at you and say, are you mad? Why are you throwing this ball off for me again? I've picked it up twice and I brought it to you twice. No, the retrieving is a very important part if you want to train your dog. The dog's level of retrieving is very important, and you can measure that with social attraction, and it will form a key indicator of the sense, the ease or the difficulty that this dog will have in being trained. Touch sensitivity. How sensitive is the dog to touch? Sound sensitivity, very important. I know of huge dogs that wet the floor and hide behind furniture when the weather just starts rumbling in the far distance. Right? It is possible to test puppies already and to see what they would likely be with sound sensitivity. Sight sensitivity. The sight or the sudden appearance of strange things. What is the dog's reaction to that? And then stability is the 10th aspect. The degree of startle response to a strange subject. When the dogs are adult and we do a full temperament test, the startle response is an accepted thing. The dog is going to get a fright if you clap a loud noise next to it. But then we start to measure the response time. How long does it take the dog to return to normal, to not be in that startled, mindless state anymore, but to return to normality and to be rational. That's what we do in adult temperament testing. Now, during this testing, we're also going to look at the heart rate of the dog, because heart rate is an indicator for us of energy levels. And if you want a high energy dog, you're going to take that dog that goes brrr, heartbeat, right? If you want a slower, more relaxed dog, it's gudoof, gudoof, gudoof. That's the one you're going to take, right? So we must look at the energy level of the dog and also try and match the energy level to the person who's going to take it. It's not just, oh, that auntie wanted the puppy with the yellow eyes, so I'm going to give her the puppy with the yellow eyes. You've got to match the right puppy to that auntie. You can't just decide, that one with the yellow eyes, it's a devil, but she's paying for it, so I'm going to give it to her. Right? So please, it's very important that we do these things. Finally, we're going to look at the overall structure of the puppy. You know, by 49 days, what you see is what you're probably going to have. If by 49 days the dog shows a deformed head, it's going to have a deformed head probably for the rest of its life. If it shows funny legs, it's going to have it. If it shows a weird gait, it's going to have it. But if the puppy is nice, reasonably top line, shows a reasonably good top line, nice straight legs, feet not turned out, then if you take that puppy and you feed it properly and you exercise it properly and you don't overfeed it, you don't expose it to environmental factors that can hurt or damage the dog or change its angulation, you will probably have a very good dog. Right? So very important. The Vollard test is long to do. We're going to do a couple of videos on this. This is the first video on the Vollard puppy aptitude test. The second video we're going to address on how to test, how to do this test and who must do this test, which is very simple. And you will see that anybody can do this test. because it is really, really simple to understand. I will also demonstrate the test in other videos to show you with my puppies on how we test certain aspects of this. All right, let's get back to business. I wrote a book. The book is called The Origins and the History of the Boerboel breed. The book is published. It is available. If you're interested in it, please send me an email to boerboelbook@gmail.com. Please tell me where you live, which country, because if I have to send it to Outer Mongolia, I have to ask the post office, what is the postage to get this book to Outer Mongolia before I can give you a quotation. So please let me know. I've sent books to really strange countries that I never thought there are Boerboels there already, but the Boerboel has become an international breed, not an internationally recognized breed, but most definitely an international breed. And it's time that we start giving attention to those things that make the dog stable and that makes it loved on an international basis, such as its temperament. And starting with puppies, it's the right way to start. I've also finished the second book. The book is not yet published. I will soon make more information about it available. It's a monster of a book, and it addresses temperament, it addresses inbreeding, it addresses angulation, it addresses mobility, it addresses the full conformational breed standard, it addresses every single aspect of the dog. It's 300 pages at this stage. I still have to get quotations. I still have to really see how I'm going to package this book and how I'm going to put it together and what it will cost. It's taken me years to finish writing that. I started writing the first parts of it in 2008. So it's 30 years ago that I started the work and doing the homework on it. But thanks a lot, and thanks for watching me. If you like my video, give me a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give me a thumbs down. If you have a comment, give me a comment. I try to respond to all the comments, right? If you subscribe to my channel, it's even better, because then every time I publish a new video, you will be notified. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, and see you soon.